Hey everyone, this week I decided to do something a little bit different. I have a bunch of scrap wood and some rings from previous turnings, and I want to utilize them to do my first open segmented bowl. So it'll be a combination of open segments and closed segments. So please stick around with me as I try something new. After indeed verifying that those test cuts would work, I started cutting up my walnut and purple heart that I'm going to be using for the open segment portion of this bowl. These were also from my scrap wood pile, and I'm trying to work through this stuff versus spending more money on hardwoods. And as always, we have to hand sand these segments prior to fitting them into the open segmented jig to ensure a nice smooth fit. These Osage Orange segments were leftovers from the previous build. I pulled off this set of rings because I thought that that last piece was just getting too big and I didn't really like the shape of the base. So I said, I can save these and make a bowl out of them in the future. So here I am, using them in the future. Again, dipping into my scrap wood pile, I decided to use some cherry for the base. So I ripped it down into 3/4 inch strips, and I will cut those into 8-inch chunks, glue them all together to make the base for this bowl. Here I am just turning the inside of the lower portion of the bowl. This is in preparation for gluing on the open segments, which are coming up next. So I want to talk a little bit about what we have here for the segmented turning. I bought this jig from Seg Easy, and the way it's set up is it tells you what degree or what segments this is set up for with how many degrees in between. So this is 18 segments with 4 degrees in between. And it tells you, it gives you your miter setting for your saw, which you saw me cutting at the beginning of the video. So I cut these chunks, these wedges, I say chunks, to fit in here all the way around. And there's 18 of these that go around this jig. So I'll apply glue to these, and then I'll mount them on my lathe, and I'll just slide them up like that. Anyways, that's kind of what's going on. So that's the next step we're doing. I think I'm asking for trouble doing it this way. I am. I'm not going to do it this way. I know this is how I like to do it because it keeps it centered. But I think these are going to start falling as soon as I put glue on there. So we're not going to do it this way. I'm just not going to do it. So of course you didn't get to see me glue this. So what I'll do is, obviously the rest of the glue up, I will do my best to get the other segment shots on there. So this is what I missed recording in the previous segment. You can see here that those pieces that I cut out earlier in the video slide into a certain location, if you will, within the jig. And you just slide those in, and then as you'll see coming up, put a little glue on the edges or the center so you don't occlude the segment, you know, the space above, and it just goes right around. Woo, damn. Huge catch. So that catch right there was from me being too aggressive with a carbide tipped tool, and I dug into the end of that piece of cherry right there, happened to be end grain. So it caught and it chunked out. That went hard into end grain. All right, let's see what I can do. I tried correcting this with my carbide tools, but those just didn't work. So you can see here I switched over to the 1/2-inch Carter & Son bowl gouge and worked that piece. And you'll see here once I stop that I pretty much got rid of that. Look at that. The beauty of the bowl gouge. Took that right out of there. Now I just gotta thin this down some, work on the shape. It's still a little thick. So I'm going to give this a quick wipe down with alcohol just to get off any dust or anything from all the sanding. And then I'm going to hit it with 800 grit, little wheel real quick to denib it. And to finish this off today, I'm going to use a Axe abrasive paste. I want to thank Tom over there at Axe for sending me out this kit to use. My discount code is MARO15. And if you guys would like to use it, we'll put a link to Tom's shop in the description below. And if you've stuck around this far in the video and you're enjoying it, please consider subscribing. I'd appreciate it. Finish this one up. I'm liking the way it turned out also. Orange, walnut, purple heart, maple, cherry on the bottom. All of this wood has been used in is leftovers, I should say. I wouldn't say it was used in other bowls. I didn't take anything apart. Was used as scraps or leftovers or offcuts from previous turnings. So it's kind of fun to utilize all these without spending any money. The final dimensions, 8.5, 7.5, 5 1/4-ish tall. Those are all inches. I really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this video. Thank you and have a great one.